Student work, Ogden College, fall 2024, tkinter stories, Python. It's written on Python. Karamuchi. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful mountain range with a pristine lake. Over the years, pollution from nearby factories and deforestation turned the once vibrant landscape into a dark and gloomy place. It was always overcast, and the lake was filled with murky water. Due to this, it basically became an abandoned place. One day, a group of environmentalists decided to take action. They started planting trees and cleaning up the lake. Slowly but surely, the landscape began to change. The skies started to clean up. It no longer rained as much. There were few trees, but they began to grow and bring life back to the landscape. As time passed, the mountain range transformed into a lush and vibrant place once again. The sun shone brightly and the air was fresh and clean. The lake sparkled with clean water and the trees provided a home for a various wildlife. The once gloomy mountain range is now thriving. In Japan, kids are encouraged to be independent event at very early age. There is a Netflix show called Old Enough, where kids are as young as 3 years old are sent out by themselves for their first errand. This is a story of a boy who left the house to go to a store by himself to complete his first errand. A little boy is tasked to buy a small box of milk by himself. He has been to the store numerous times with his mother, but this will be the first time going by himself. He is scared and anxious, but is encouraged by his parents to do this first errand. This is considered a rite of passage for kids in Japan, and kids are encouraged to be independent. Japan has a very low crime rate, so this practice can be done in Japan. The boy bought a box of milk and returns home. He has successfully completed his first errand. The parents are so proud that the little boy has completed his first errand, and the little boy is happy that his parents are happy and proud that of his fate. The end. Franklin, the little turtle, stood in the edge of the howling river. The water sparkled in the sunlight, and the Franklin was excited to begin his adventure across the other side. With the determined push, he waded in the cold water. As Franklin paddled through the water, a curious fish swam by. The fish circled around Franklin, shimmering in the sun, but Franklin kept swimming, focused on his journey. Halfway across the river, Franklin spotted a large lily pad. He decided to take a short rest, climbing onto the green pad to catch his breath, the gentle current rocking him back and forth. Finally, after that, After what felt like a long swim, Franklin reached the other side of the river. He pulled himself out of the water and looked back with pride. He had made it. The end. After a long day of school, Jimmy arrived at home. Right away, he heads to his desk as he had a lot of schoolwork to get to. Jimmy sits down at his desk exhausted from his long day of school, but ready to complete his homework. He ends up on this question that he can't seem to figure out the solution for. He remembers learning about this in class, but just can't put the parts together to solve it. After spending countless minutes recalling his notes and lectures, he finally found the solution for the question. After a long day of homework at school, Jimmy finally finished and really proud of himself. He smiled, filled with glee, and is ready to watch TV and spend time with his family for the rest of the day. Simple house. Some engineering tool. Okay, now next semester it will be spring 2025. One sunny morning, Shaggy opened his front door and realized that his dog, Scooby, had run away. Shaggy searched high and low, here and there. Shaggy looked for Scooby everywhere. Just when Shaggy was about to give up, he spotted Scooby's paw prints leading toward the park. Through the trees and past the swings, Shaggy heard a joyful sound. There was Shaggy, tail wagging, safe and happy to be found. Riddled with sweat, Hermes continued pounding his feet on the concrete in efforts to keep up with the pack. This was his last race of his colleague season, and he did not want to disappoint the crowd, most importantly his friends and family cheering him on the sidelines. He felt his body aching and his mind wanting to give up. With every stride he felt himself growing weaker and weaker. On his second to last lap of the race, he passes his family once more, and he feels a tinge of disappointment in his body. He is not last in the race, but not where he wanted to be. As he passes he hears the yells and cheering full of so much love and support, and that's when he realized they didn't care what position he was. They were just proud of him. Almost like a second wind took him, Hermes picks up his speed and feels like his body is brand new. He begins to catch up to the other runners, but not enough for him to pass. However, on the third lap, he passes his family and friends once again, and he feels that sense of pride and support again, and pushes himself on his last lap. In the 200 meters of the lap, he passes the top 3 people and doesn't look back. He sprints out the remaining 100 meters with a full-on sprint, successfully reaching the finish line. As he crosses the finish line, he wouldn't forget that the sense of pride and happiness that he felt when he won the race. The race taught him the importance of community and endless support, as it's the thing that gets you through your hardest battles. Once upon a time, the sun noticed a tiny green sprout pushing through the soil and looked down with curiosity. Beaming warmly, the sun wondered aloud, "What will you become, little one?" As day passes, the sun bathed the sprout in golden rays, watching it stretch taller and taller. The leaves unfurled and the stem grew sturdy. With excitement, the sun whispered, "I can't wait to see." Then, one morning, the plant revealed a brilliant yellow bloom, its face round and golden, mirroring the sun above. The sun blinked in surprise and chuckled. "Oh, look, it's mini-me." Now, spring 2026. A raven, which you know is black as coal, was envious to the swan, because her feathers were as white as the purest snow. The foolish bird got the idea that if he lives like the swan, swimming and diving all day long and eating the weeds and plants that grow in the water, his feathers would turn white like the swan's. So he left his home in the woods and fields and flew down to live on the lakes and in the marshes. But those he washed and washed all day long, almost drawing himself at it, his feathers remained as black as ever. And as the water weeds he ate did not agree with him, he got thinner and thinner, and at last he died. A change of habits will not alter nature. The end. Once a cat and a fox were traveling together. As they went along, picking up provisions, on the way a stray mouse here, a fat chicken there, they began an argument to while away the time between bites. And, as usually happens, when comrades argue, the talk began to get personal. "You think you are extremely clever, don't you?" said the fox. "Do you pretend to know more than I?" "Why, I know a whole sackful of tricks." "Well," retorted the cat, I admit I know one trick only, but that one, let me tell you, it is worth thousands of yours. Just then, close by, they heard a hunter's horn and the yelping of the pack of hounds. In an instant, the cat was up a tree, hiding among the leaves. "This is my trick," he called to the fox. "Now let me see what yours are worth." But the fox had so many plans to escape he could not decide which one to try first. He dodged here and there with the hounds at his heels. He doubled on his tracks, he ran and stopped at top speed. He entered a dozen burrows, but all in vain. The hounds caught him and soon put an end of the boaster and all his tricks. Common sense is always worth more than cunning. It was a bright and sunny Saturday morning. Alice decided she needed some groceries for the weekend. She stepped out of her cozy blue house, ready for a quick trip into town. Alice hopped into her thirsty red car and hit the road. She drove down the highway, enjoying the warm breeze as the trees and fields zipped by her window. Finally, she arrived at the town supermarket. Alice parked her car in the lot and walked toward the sliding glass doors, ready to buy her favorite snacks. Mission accomplished. One day, as the lion walked proudly down a forest aisle, and the animals respectfully made way for him, an ass brayed a scornful remark as he passed. The lion felt a flash of anger. But when he turned his head and saw who had spoken, he walked quietly on. He would not honor the fool with even so much as a stroke of his claws. A small red balloon drifted quietly above an open field. With no one beside it, the little balloon felt a bit lonely as it floated in the gentle morning breeze. As the balloon floated, it noticed in the background a blue balloon approaching in the distance from the direction of the house. The blue balloon seemed cheerful and full of energy, and it quickly became clear that it wanted to be friends with the red balloon. The two balloons became best friends, tied their ribbons together, and played together every day. Now the red balloon was no longer lonely, and the blue balloon has found a wonderful friend to share adventures with. They lived happily ever after, floating together in the sky and enjoying each other's company. The end. Thank you for watching.